to the NBA, where we continue Giannis watch, where he may play next. We're less than a week away from the Bucks' self-imposed deadline of the NBA draft for a Giannis trade. Did you hear Michael Wilbon on PTI yesterday expressing his doubts on Giannis?
I don't believe in Giannis anymore. Giannis is a rumor. Giannis hadn't done jack in the months that matter, which would be May and June, since 2021. A league can now, particularly the NBA, it can pass you by. And with a ton of wings who are 6'9", 6'10" sort of size, DeBanza and Caleb Wilson and those kids coming in the league, Giannis can look obsolete fairly quickly if he can't get his butt out there and contribute heavily, massively in May, June. And I don't know that. I would not rearrange my franchise for Giannis.
That's what I've been trying to say for several days, and he just said it better than I can, which is why he's in the Hall of Fame. That's Jay Will. That's Vincenzo, Vinny Goodwill. Do you agree with what Wilbon just said about Giannis?
I'm mad because I was just talking to Mike yesterday, and he didn't tell me that. I would vehemently disagree with him. I don't think you have to rearrange your franchise for Giannis. I think there is context that matter when a player is in an organization where they don't see eye to eye anymore. We've seen this happen multiple times with players and how they handle that stress. I do think Giannis would be better utilized when he has strong leadership, starting from a head coach and starting from a front office. And I think that has diminished. I'm not going to diminish Giannis's 50-point closeout game in an NBA championship and all of a sudden say this guy doesn't have it anymore.
It's 5 years ago, though. I mean, no one is diminishing what he was. The question is he still?
Did you see the numbers this year?
The numbers this year, but
he got hurt.
He's hurt.
He got hurt.
He's gotten hurt a lot in recent years. He's played
85% of his career games.
Yeah, I understand that, but most of those 15% have been lately, and that's the point. Vinny, go.
I think, with all due respect to Michael Wilbon, the Hall of Famer.
This is going to be bad.
No, it's not. No,
okay.
it's not. No, it's not. No, Wilbon. I would, if I'm the Boston Celtics, and I haven't won a championship in a couple of years, and I've been shooting all these threes, bringing Giannis in, if I can fit him into what I do, I think that would be the perfect sort of fit. Now, granted, we've seen the big trades that happen over the past few years. It takes a year for you to get your stuff together. It takes a year for you to lose, and then you go off like a rocket. Karl Anthony Towns, it took a year for the Knicks to figure that stuff out with him. Do you have 2 years with Giannis? I say you have 3 with Giannis at this level. He's 31 right now. The miles are starting to add up. Kevin Garnett is the person I always use as the comparison, but I think for the Celtics, he's worth the risk.
So blowing up the roster, to me, trading Jaylen Brown is blowing up the roster. I mean, he's an all-NBA player. So I'm going to ask it to you from both sides, Jay. Mm-hmm. If you're the Bucks, and there might be other machinations in this, there might be other teams involved.
There has to be, yes, so
but
if
the bottom line of it is Jaylen Brown for Giannis, if you're the Bucks, do you do it? If you're the Celtics, do you do it?
I think if you're the Bucks and you're looking at, it depends what you want. If Horace and Jimmy Haslam want more trade assets, you bring in a third team. If you want, considering all the changes we just had where you can't bottom out anymore due to all the changes with the draft, then I think you get a guy like Jaylen Brown. I will say, though, if you're the Boston Celtics, to Vinny's point, changing up the style in which you play. We just had Reggie Miller on yesterday talking about you can't take 53 threes in the game.
Right.
It's one of the greatest three-point shooters of all time. Bringing Giannis in as a rim protector and as somebody that can drive downhill with the right personnel. People can't tell me who played for the Boston Celtics this year, and they came in second place in Eastern Conference.
Right.
Kudos to Jaylen Brown for getting them there, but Brad Stevens and Joe have a proclivity for bringing the right ancillary pieces around the margin to help alleviate a player like Jason Tatum and Giannis if they play in the same team.
My thing is this: if you're the Bucks, nobody wants to bottom out in the NBA anymore because the draft lottery rules make it so prohibitive for you to be in the bottom 3, bottom 4. There's no more guarantees that you're going to get that top pick and get back to the top. So getting a good player that can help you at least be in the play-in territory. Jaylen Brown is more than good enough to be the best player on a play-in team, even if you're not sure of anything else that's around. Secondarily, for the Celtics, if you're Jaylen Brown and your name has been dangled out here, and I said this yesterday, when does he decide, you know what, I'm tired of my name being dangled out here. I will take this into my own hands. That's why even if it isn't consummated, let's say Giannis goes to Miami, do the Boston Celtics have a problem on their hands because Jaylen Brown's name has been out there for the past few weeks?
I think there was a feeling of that, right? When they got knocked out and all the comments on Twitch and all that, I can't read a person's mind, but that it certainly felt like Jaylen Brown was expressing a lot of frustration.
All I'm going to say is if you watch Jalen Brunson play with Luka Doncic and then how he didn't get his money from Dallas, he leaves, he builds a team with a roster on his own and wins a championship. If there is an aspect of Jaylen Brown that believes he can do that, you just had a team win a world championship with a guy that believed in how he can lead. It's something to pay attention to.
Oh, for sure. I mean, so, Vinny, bottom line of it is the league still expects, because you're talking to everybody every day, they expect a Giannis trade of some sort in the next 6 days, yes?
Yes. With draft night coming Wednesday, and this is the last draft of its kind where you know exactly what you're going to get, and it's a great draft. The best time to move him will be before the draft. Free agency is such a crapshoot nowadays. Nobody has the money to do it. This is the best possible time to fit Giannis into a salary slot.
All right, we're going to get into the Jalen. Of course, could be completely remade in the next week, and we'll get into that in a little while. Then the Knicks right behind them, and then a significant drop-off before we get to Denver. So Jay Will and Vincenzo and Alan Hahn with us today. Let me start with this quickly. We know that we have this unprecedented run in NBA history, 8 different champions in 8 different years. As you look at this Knicks team, do you think they have a good chance? Would you pick them right now to be the team that finally bucks that and goes back-to-back?
No, not for next year, not considering if OKC were healthy. Look, this is the arms race that's going to happen every single offseason. I don't know where Giannis is going to be. I don't know where Jaylen Brown is going to be. I don't know what moves Sam Presti's going to make at the draft. I mean, you can make the case that if OKC doesn't lose their second and third leading scorer, they should be in the NBA Finals. They would probably be NBA champions back-to-back. So I still think OKC is going to be OKC's to lose. I think the Spurs are coming. I think the Knicks have a legitimate chance to do it again next year, but it'll be them amongst other teams as well.
What do you think?
I think they'll have championship arrogance next year, where you walk into a building and you get 5 or 6 extra wins because that team knows that they can't beat you at all. Mm-hmm. But you're also playing 82 playoff games. You're every team's Super Bowl. How much will you have emotionally at the end of the regular season going into the playoffs that enables you to get there? We've seen that this was the first time in those 8-year periods that the defending champion even got as far as to the conference finals,
right?
Because it's so difficult. So I'm not going to say that the Knicks are going to buck the trend because I thought the Denver Nuggets would have gotten back. I thought OKC was surely going to get back, and we all thought the Celtics were determined to get back, and all of those teams got knocked off on the way to June. I don't know if I see the Knicks changing that trend.
And injury, more than any other time I can remember, Alan, injury has played such a significant part in these playoffs, and I think that's why I'm going to use a word that is really not appropriate for this, but I can't think of a better one. The sort of randomness of it, the team that stays healthy, if I could tell you right now which team was going to stay healthy, then I could tell you which team was going to win.
Yeah, and that's what you've seen last year with Boston. You saw it you saw it with Denver as well, and the injuries that they dealt with this year. You saw it with OKC and the injuries that you're talking about, Jay. And you've seen it in Milwaukee. They won a championship, and they just were never healthy after that, right? So that is a huge part of it. And for the Knicks, that'll also be part of the story, is their health was remarkable this season. They overcame small things throughout the season, but they never had that one that would be that devastating injury that could take them out of contention.
They also had an enormous, they didn't get an advantage. They created an advantage by sweeping those series, so giving themselves all that extra rest time, that was a major advantage for them. So the Knicks win the title. We'll see if next year we get a 9th different champ. The obvious pick for that would seem to be San Antonio. But it does beg the question, both, I guess, as a fan and as one who lives in the sport. Do you prefer a league with dynasties or with parity? Which one do you think is better, Jay Will?
Dynasties. I love dynasties. I love teams that love to be hated. I love teams that have success over a period of time. I love when I see GMs or scouts come up to me and be like, how do you think we build our roster to beat this particular team? It's something about, look, I never got playing the NBA dynasty, but obviously playing at Duke. Like, you learn to love to be hated, right? And there's something about that. So as much as I appreciate parity, I want to see rivalries and I want to see dynasties.
It's interesting because Wendy was here yesterday, Vinny, and he said the league we have right now is the league the owners want. The NBA owners control the league. People put everything on Adam Silver. The reality is, I don't know where he would stand on this in a vacuum, but the owners, they are tired of being the Washington Generals. Now, for those who don't know, because I don't know if that's even still a thing, is that who the Harlem Globetrotters play?
Yes.
That was when I was a kid. They're tired of just being